Hey folks, it's Rob, and this is Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, the card game, as you know. I have, well, there's a new expansion out, the Grand Tourney. I haven't bought my cards yet. I'm a little late to the party, I know. But I thought I'd buy the packs, and we'll open them up. So I have 2,400 gold, let's buy 24 packs. I'll be right back. Right, that was a quick and easy trip to the shop. So as you can see, I now have 24 packs. I currently have no Grand Tourney cards in my inventory, so everything will be new.
Prepare yourself for a day of the most impressive jousting, eye-popping sideshows, and the mightiest combat you've ever encountered.
Okay, dude. Don't oversell it. Right. Flame Juggler. Battlecry, deal one damage to a random enemy. It's a 2/3 for 2. It does 1 point of damage on play. That's not a horrible stat line for a 2. And the 1 point of damage, I could see you using it. Darnassus Aspirant. It's for druids. Battlecry, gain empty mana crystal, and when it dies, you lose a mana crystal. So useful for ramping, and druids ramp. Shadow Pen Rider. For rogue, combo, gain +3 attack. So it's a 3/7 normally for 5. You'll need to combo it to turn it into a 6/7 for 5, and that suddenly becomes a decent enough card. But you got to combo a 5 card with something, which means you're playing it at 6 at least. Well, you could have a 0. You could have like a backstab or something. Spellslinger. Battlecry. Add a random spell to each player's hand for mage. So half a Murloc Oracle. Yeah, it's a 3/4 for 3. And it's card draw, but it's for both parties. Argent Horse Rider. All classes. Charge and Divine Shield for a 2/1. Well, it's a 2/1 and has charge, and that's nice. In that it has these abilities, but it's a 3 cost. I don't know, if you're building something around Divine Shields, that's handy. I know from a fact from playing my rogue deck, my rogue pirates, that having a 2 charge is great, pretty good removal, and Divine Shield means you'll get more value out of it. Frigid Snowbold. Spell damage +1 for 4 cost. It's a 2/6. So instead you have your regular kobold for 2, which has a 2/2. For 4, you get a 2/6. Well, it's durable at least. Argent Lance. Battlecry, reveal a minion in each deck if yours costs more +1 durability. So that's the jousting technique. And that basically means if I win the joust, I have a 2/3 weapon instead of a 2/2 weapon. It's for Paladin, of course. The Captured Jormungular. It's a 5/9 beast for 7 cost. So, you know, nice for those building beast-oriented things. Big, nasty thing. Certainly tough. Paladin, Murloc Knight. So, you get to, every time you use your Inspire, now that Inspire basically means whenever you use your hero power, summon a random Murloc. You got a 3/4 for 4, otherwise not wonderful, but you can Inspire rather readily with Paladins, because honestly, there's lots of things Inspire related in the Grand Tourney cards. You have a card that can reduce your hero power to 1 cost. You can have a card that allows you to use your hero power as much as you like. You have various cards that there's at least one card that improves your hero power. So, like for the Paladin, that would be instead of 1 guy token, you get 2 tokens. He's been featuring a lot in the emerging meta, I think. So it's nice I have him. Lowly Squire. So for 1 cost, you get a 1/2, right? But every time you Inspire, he gets +1 attack. So think of him as like, well, basically, he's one of those tiny things that grows, right? So every time you use your hero power, he gets an R+1 attack. So he's nothing right now, but he only costs 1. 1/2 for 1's actually not miserable. So, yeah. I could totally see you using your hero power behind him. I mean, how impressive is a 1-cost card going to be? Alright, for Shaman. Ancestral Knowledge. Draw 2 cards, overload 2. Well, I mean, that works well if you're building an overload-related kind of theme, right? And it is some card draw at 2 cost. So, could be worse. And at least just draw 2 cards instead of 1. If it was 1 card, let's say this was 1 card for 1 with an overload of 1, right? The overload of 1 might still be handy for something, but otherwise you're basically replacing a card with a card. This at least replaces 1 card with 2 cards.
Oh, legendary!
Ooh. Adric the Pure. Change all enemy minions' attack to 1. Right. For Paladin, 3/7 for 7. I strongly suspect I'm going to end up building a Paladin deck. The Lance Carrier, again, neutral card. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +2 attack. Basically, it arms another weapon minion, and that ain't too bad. +2 attack onto another creature but the 1/2 stat line blows. Another Capture Jormungandr.
Rare!
Tiny Knight of Evil for the Warlock. Whenever you discard a card, gain +1/+1. So anytime you discard a card, and there are various discard mechanics for Warlocks, you can get a +1/+1. Your Tiny Knight of Evil, who is a 3/2 for 2 otherwise. So far, no duplicates. As we open our 4th pack, we'll see. I mean, no exceed. I mean, I do have 2 cards, but no something so far. Nothing extra is what I mean.
Rare!
Knight of the Wild. Whenever you summon a beast, reduce the cost of this card by 1. I guess that builds up over time. Would normally a 7 for 6/6, so not desirable. But if you play a few beasts, let's say you played 3 beasts before him, he'd be a 4, and he'd be 6/6 for 4, and that's really good value. Gavaldir Raider, 5 cost, Inspire, gain +2/+2. Right, so he's a 4/4 for 5. Bleh. But you Inspire, he's a 6/6, and then an 8/8, and then a 10/10. And if things go that far, you probably won the game anyway. We have a Fearsome Doomguard. He's a demon, 7 cost for a 6/8. Not the worst demon in the universe in that he doesn't do anything to you. But 6/8 for 7 isn't the best value.
Golden Common!
Okay, I got a Golden Common Bone Guard Lieutenant. Every time you Inspire, he gains +1 health. He's a 3/2 for 2. Now, 3/2 for 2 is basically like the Raptor. It's not miserable for a 2. With Inspire, he can be tougher, and that's a good thing. So I could see using him. Tuskar Totemic. So for my Shaman, 3 cost gets you a 3/2. Battlecry, summon any random totem. So that's all. That includes all the new totems in the cards, plus the ones that you would normally be able to generate as your hero power. That could be value. I mean, you get two minions. You get this minion and the next minion. Basically, 3/2 for 2 is what you'd normally expect, plus something. You do get a second minion with its own powers for his cost. So that extra 1 mana gets you the extra thing. Right, moving on to the next one. Right, 1 cost. All neutral, basically all classes. A 1/2. Gadgetzan Jouster. Battlecry. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, gain +1/+1. Again, this is the Joust mechanic. So, a 1 cost, you get a 1/2 or a 2/3. Now, if you win the Joust, fabulous. You got a 2/3 for 1 cost. If you lose the Joust, you have a 1/2 for 1 that doesn't do anything else. could be worse. If you're a fan of the jousting mechanic, basically you're going to need to put some big minions in your deck. So, could work. It certainly jousting mechanics work well for big decks against big minion decks versus, say, zoos. You know, if you got a whole pile of murlocs out there. Well, here's our second Shadowpan Rider.
Rare.
Spawn of Shadows for the priest. Inspire. Deal 4 damage to each hero. So for 4 cost, I get a 5/4, and I do 4 damage to both of us, you and my opponent and myself. Now, as a priest, I can generally deal with damage better than my opponent might be able to. So that's not worthless, but it's kind of an anti-inspire in a way. Maybe there's creative ways of dealing with the damage to yourself. You know, in which case, hey, it's 4 damage every time you use your healing power. We'll see. So, here's another one with the jousting technique. For 2 costs, you get 3/2, so not bad. It's a beast. It's basically like the raptor, except it's, in this case, the Warcraft equivalent of an elephant. And its battle cry is, reveal a minion in each deck. If you cost more, draw it. So, basically, again, you have the joust mechanics. So let's say we have these 2 cards as the draws, right? And this one's mine and this one's theirs. I then get this one, right? But if this one's mine and this one's theirs, if this one's mine and this one's theirs, then I don't get anything. I just get this Elic. So, you know, it's not worthless, especially if you're building around the joust technique, and it's for hunters. Flame Juggler. Again, battle cry, deal 1 damage to a random enemy for a 2/3 for 2. Right. Ooh, epic. For the Shaman, I get the Charged Hammer. Death Rattle, your hero power becomes deal 2 damage. So basically, I don't lose the hammer, but I lose the ability to generate the totems I would otherwise generate. 4 cost, 2/4 durability. Interesting.
Rare.
The Colosseum Manager. For 3 cost, you get a 2/5. When you inspire, return this minion to your hand. So he pops down, and you can pick him up again basically whenever you use your hero power. Durable, so you definitely use him in a variety of applications. Like if you could put a taunt on him, or if he survives to the second turn, you can attack with him, and then you could use your inspire and pick him up again. The damage he's suffered will be negated by the fact that he's been picked up. If you're light on minions, that could work quite well as well. The Refreshment Vendor. 4 cost, you get a 3/5, and its battle cry is restore 4 health to each hero. So that's the opposite of the one we had for the priest, where we caused 4 damage to each hero. In this case, we restore 4 health to each hero. So used probably more if you're in the hole. You know, you need the 4 health. He's like not hurt yet. Then that works well in your favor. Otherwise, you're healing him too. You know, pretty obvious that way. The Nara Frigid Snowballed, so that makes 2 of those. And my second Lowly Squire. Okay. So far, nothing I have to break down into dust yet. He says as he opens a pack full of crap.
Rare.
Well, Injured Cavalcade. For 1 cost, you get a 2/4, but he immediately does 3 damage to himself. So he's a 2/1 for 1, who's down 3 health. About as useful as the Injured Knight. You know, we already have something like this, but bigger, basically. Mukla's Champion. For 5 cost, you get a 4/3. And every time you inspire, give your other minions +1/+1. So he just starts handing out bananas, basically, to your other minions. Pretty damn nifty. If you can play this at the same time as you inspire, you can immediately boost your other minions. But he doesn't boost himself. He remains a 4/3. Continuing around the clock here, we have our Maiden of the Lake. My hero power costs 1. See, here we go. That's one of those cards I was talking about earlier. For 4 cost, I get a 2/6, so that's not brilliant. But now my hero power costs 1, so I don't have to spend 2 mana every time I use my hero power. I can use it for 1 cost. A second Muckless Champion in the same pack. Way to go, Hearthstone. Okay. Please note, he's riding a hippo. Yes. That is a gorilla in armor with a bamboo open lance riding a hippo. And who says the game ain't fun? And here's our new secret for the hunter, Bear Trap. 2 cost, as all the hunter secrets are. You get, after the hero is attacked, summon a 3/3 bear with taunt. So you get hit in the face. Then this trap goes off and puts down the 3/3 taunt. So this, unlike all the other traps that you have, this fires kind of afterwards to do its effect. Because usually the explosions happen at the same time as you're being attacked. So if you are being attacked by something and the 2 damage kills it, you're not hurt. This does it after you've already been hurt. Alright, give me good. Okay, second Tuskar Totemic. My 3rd Lance Carrier. Alright, so that's Dust. Another Totem Golem. That might be the 3rd as well, but I'm not sure. Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks again for the duplicate in the same freaking pack. Now, these are both Dust. Thanks. I got a whole pack, and these are crappy, cheap commons, so the dust I'm going to get off of them is negligible.
Rare.
Well, Knight of the Wild. So that's the second one. You think for a rare I wouldn't have a duplicate. Right, so 3 cost, for you get a 2/4. It's for Paladin, of course. The Warhorse Trainer. Your Silver Hand recruits have +1 attack. So those are the summon totems that you get. Kind of like the Quartermaster, except they only get +1 attack instead of +1. Instead of, like, I think it was what, +2/+2, something like that, or is it +3/+3 for the Quartermaster? Again, has an immediate effect and is very useful with muster. So, yeah, that's great for Paladins. A lot of good cards for Paladins, I think, in the new expansion. 4 cost, Fist of Jaraxxus for the Warlock. When you play or discard this, deal 4 damage to a random enemy. So you don't have to discard it, but you don't have to play it. It'll do 4 damage either way. So, for 6 cost, for the Paladin again, enter the Colosseum. Destroy all minions except each player's highest attack minion. Pretty neat. A bit like Brawl. Certainly a way of dealing with a mess. Like if you have one thing down and they have a whole pile of crap out there, suddenly they're only left with their highest attacking one. Second Warhorse Train. Oh, this is the 3rd pack running. I got a duplicate in the same pack. Fuck you, Blizzard. Come on, fix this. And a $1 an Aspirant. For 4 cost, for the Mage, you get a 3/5, and every time you inspire, it gains +1 spell damage. So it doesn't start with +1 spell damage, I would point out. It gets +1 spell damage every time you inspire. Will there be a duplicate in this pack as well? Let's find out. And by a duplicate, I mean 2 of the same card. Right. Second Bone Guard Lieutenant.
Rare.
Effigy. New secret for the Mage. When a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with the same cost. So let's say my Bone Guard Lieutenant died, I'd get a new minion randomly that had a 2 cost. It's like the summon effects. Or Recombobulator. That's my 5th Lowly Squire. Gvaldir Raider, I now have 2 of those. And the Brave Archer! Wow, I wonder what movie this looks like. For 1 cost, you get a 2/1. Every time you inspire, if your hand is empty, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Your hand has to be empty for this to work, however. Otherwise, it's a 2/1 for 1. And so that's a really tricky kind of place to get to on a 1-cost card. Well, at least I didn't have 2 of the same card in that one. Although I did get another Lowly Squire. Right. Second refreshment vendor. I think that's my 3rd captured Jormungandr. Right, here's a new card for the Druid. 4 costs, you get a 4/4 Wildwalker. Its battle cry, give a friendly beast plus 3 health. So that's cool, especially if you're playing some in line with the whole beast thing. Because you can saw there are other cards that play with the beast thing for druids. So, yeah. And usually beasts are fairly tough. They have a decent amount of health usually, except for the raptor. But, you know.
Rare.
Ball of Spiders for the hunter. For 6 cost, you get 3 1/1 web spinners. The web spinners cost 1 mana each. So, where's the extra 3 mana? Well, the extra 3 mana is that you have 3 cards for the cost of 1. So really you have... And each of those web spinners, if they execute properly, will be 3 other cards. Because, as you probably know, the death rattle on a web spinner is that you get a new random minion in your hand. From a pre-selected list. But you might get Godzilla, you might get the Pirate's Parrot. Really is kind of a wild card. Could be entertaining to play. I think that. Maybe not so many circumstances I'd want to play this card, though.
Cool. Rare.
Ooh, golden rare. Okay, I got Alexstrasza's Champion for the warrior. 2 cost, you get a 2/3. Its battle cry, if you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and charge. So again, this is the dragon mechanic that we were exploring previously. With the last episodic expansion of the game. And so if you have a dragon in your hand, this is a 3/3 with charge for 2. Good value in that case. But you'd be building your deck around that. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably use it. Alright. And our Fearsome Doomguard. Right, 3 costs, you get a 4/3 Light's Champion. Its battle cry is silence a demon. Only a demon. It will silence a demon. I suppose the stat line's not miserable. So you get a 4/3 for 3. And if you happen to be playing against someone who is a warlock, then you can silence one of their demons. But as we could just see here, not all demons are all that silenceable. Go ahead and silence the Fearsome Doomguard. He doesn't say anything anyway. Another Totem Golem. Bolster for the warrior. 2 cost. It's a spell. Give your taunt minions +2/+2. Now that's only the taunt ones. So, but you might have a variety of taunt minions as a warrior, so that's feasible. You'd plan around that though. And another Lance Carrier. Well, that's like 6 of those now. I've only opened 12 packs. Hey, every other pack has a Lance Carrier.
Rare.
Right. Master Jouster. Please, no jokes. For 6 cost, you get a 5/6. Battlecry, reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, he gets Taunt and Divine Shield. So again, if you win the joust, he gets Taunt and Divine Shield on top of that 5/6, making him highly valuable. However, if you lose the Taunt, you paid 6 cost for a 5/6 with nothing else. So, again, that gambling mechanic that is jousting. Another Maiden of the Lake. Another Dalaran Aspirant. I think that's my 3rd Cavalcade Raider. And hey, my 7th Lowly Squire. Great. Great. Just what I need. More. How about a whole pack of Squires? How about that? Why don't we just make this 55 more Squires and I'll just be done with this now? Fuck's sake.
Rare.
Draenei Totem Carver. 4 cost, you get a 4/4. Battlecry is gained +1/+1 for every friendly totem. So, it wouldn't be the first time as a shaman I had I had at least a few totems out. You know, if you got 3 of them, you have a 7/7 for 4 cost. And you might have built up some totems in the build up to your 4 play. That didn't sound right. As you come up on your 4th turn to play the 4 mana round, yes, we'll just move on. Hate you. It's not the card's fault. Okay, another Wild Walker. Another Ball of Spiders. Great. Just the rare I wanted, a 2nd Ball of Spiders. And hey, now we're getting extra Maidens of the Lake. Okay. Well, at least I don't have one of these yet. Living Roots. For the Druid, 1 cost, choose 1. Deal 2 damage, or summon 2 1/1 saplings. Actually, that ain't bad. That is not bad at all, really. For 1 cost, you can deal 2 damage, right? That's reasonable value. Good for elimination of cheap and small things. Or, you can summon 2 1/1 saplings and have 2 1/1 minions on the table that you can then use. So, you know, you can then do things with those saplings, or you can just attack with them, or you can use them for defense. They have to be dealt with. For 1 cost, you get 2 minions. That's good value, in my opinion. I think that's a very good card for the Druid. Twilight Guardian. Right, so for 4 cost, it's a dragon, you get a 2/6. The battle cry, if you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and taunt. So, if I was holding another one of these, it would be a 3/6 and taunting. And at 4, that's good value, because that stands right up to the shield bearer and says, ha, I have 1 more health. So, alright. Well, 2 epics in this card, that's nice. The Garrison Commander, you can use your hero power twice a turn. See, not bad. 2/3 for 2. Now, admittedly, unless you have something to reduce the cost of your hero power, that means you have to spend 4 mana to use your hero power twice. But that there are a variety of ways that can come in handy in the current way of building, with the new Inspire mechanics, etc. So, yeah, I'm glad to get that.
Rare.
Another Argent Lance. Well, I could do without that. But this is not I got epic, rare, and a common I didn't have. Are you going to be that stupid squire again? No, it's an Ice Rager. Wow. That's another common I haven't had yet. I mean, admittedly, I don't really want an Ice Rager. It's a 5/2 for 3. I mean, it is a 5 attack, but it's a 2 defense. It has to sit there and wait until it can until it can do its action for 3 cost. It's not great by any means. Right. Well, that was a nice pack. Let's see what garbage I get now.
Rare.
So I got a sparring partner. 2 cost, you get a 3/2. He has taunt. Battle cry, give a minion taunt. A minion. So it doesn't have to be one of mine, although that might be what I would do. I can give my opponent a taunt as well and draw something out from behind his taunt wall if I want. So that could be handy too. Yeah, I like tools. Tools are great. They're answers to so many things. Another Tuskar Totemic, we've had that. Another Shadowpan Rider, we've had that. Another Flame Juggler, these are all dust. And a Clockwork Knight, I haven't had that. Okay, so it's a mech. 5/5 for 5. It's Battle Cry, give a friendly mech +1/+1. I suppose in that it's a mech, that might be useful. The +1/+1 is certainly possibly useful in a mech build. And I kind of have a mech hunter, so I mean I can see how that might work. But it's not like that Clockwork Sabertooth thing. I forget the name of. Where you get... that gives, I think, +2/+2 onto your cards, onto your mechs. And that costs 3. It's a 3/3 for 3 and has +2/+2. So, poor value in my opinion. But it is durable. It's 5... I don't know. Right? Another Spell Singer. Well, I think that's my second one, so that's okay. Second bolster.
Rare.
Right, 4 cost. Draenei Totem Carver. Oh, we've had this one before. Okay, so again, second... Okay. I don't know what it is about getting second rares at the same time. Bash. So for 3 cost, deal 3 damage, and you gain 3 armor. I could see a warrior using that all the time. Demon Fuse. 2 cost, you give a demon +3/+3. Give your opponent a mana crystal. Me personally, I will never play that card. Because I will be fucked if I'm going to give anybody a mana crystal. But, I know this might be a good way of accelerating for a warlock. You could really just, like, boost a minion up front and start smacking the crap out of somebody and they won't be able to do anything about it. Might work. I probably will never use it. Another Jormungandr. Another Snowball. Mysterious Challenger. Well, I guess I am building the Paladin deck, because honestly, this one fucking rocks. Battlecry, put 1 of each secret from your deck into the battlefield. So you can have 5 secrets, and I've seen play of this. It's pretty fucking impressive. You get a 6/6 for 6, and 5 of your Paladin secrets are put into play. So they are admittedly drawn from your deck. So you have to have the secrets in the first place. And I say 5 because you can't have more than 5 secrets in play. So if you have more than 5 kinds of secrets in your deck, still you are only going to get 5 of them. But your Paladin secrets play for 1 mana, so that's effectively up to 5 value mana in spells suddenly played from your deck onto your hero. And you have a 6/6. And what's your opponent going to do about this? If you have lots of secrets, they're going to have a problem fighting their way through all the freaking secrets. You got your Noble Sacrifice in front of it. You got an Avenge being played on their minions. It gets complicated. I mean, if he puts down a charge, like you might suddenly have 1 health. Yeah, it's... Right, what's next?
Rare.
3rd Argent Lance. It's rare. I got 3 of these fucking things. Just want to point that out. Rare. I have 3 of them. I haven't even opened up all 24 packs I bought. And I did not buy vast quantities of packs. I bought 24. Although I could afford. I got 3 of these fucking things. I don't even know if I was going to use 1. Let alone have extras. Right, to the card. 9 cost, generic. You got a 9/7 North Sea Kraken, and it does 4 damage on play. So you put the card down, you deal 4 damage wherever you want. Because it says deal 4 damage. So you can deal it to your minions, to their minions, to yourself, to the opponent, wherever you want, and you have a 9/7. Stat line, 9 cost for a 9/7. But the battle cry helps make up for it, I guess. It's not technically a beast, though. Right. Well, here's a card I haven't had. Druid of the Saber. Choose 1, transform to gain charge. So it's a 2/1 with charge for 2 cost. Or +1/+1 in stealth. So then it becomes a 3/2 stealthy. I liked having choices, because that means flexibility. So if I absolutely need a 2/1 removal right now, they don't charge in there and hit something with it, that's great. Or I have a 3/2 that's stealthed, and I can use that later. Could be worse. I don't think it's still great value, though. I mean, it is still only a 3/2 for 2, but it did stealth. So
Rare.
fuck you! Fuck you, game! Just fuck! Ah! These are my rare cards! You fucking burnt 2 of my rare cards already on these stupid... this is the 4th Argent Lance. I'm gonna have 2 of these already that I'm never gonna fucking use, and now I got 2 of them for dust. Ah! Another bash. Another Muckless Champion. Actually, that's not bad. I might actually use it. And a 3rd Fearsome Doom card. I've only gone through 19 packs, and I got 4 fucking rare lances. And I think I'm up to fucking 9 squires. Well, it's about time the Evil Heckler showed up. He's a 5/4 for 4. That's opposed to the 3/5 that you get for the Shield Bearer. So he's actually kind of, in a way, better than the Shield Bearer. In that, if the 2 of them were to meet, he would defeat the Shield Bearer and still live. But otherwise, I mean, I could definitely see using him.
Rare.
Armored Warhorse. So, 4 costs, you get a 5/3 Beast. He is a beast. Battlecry, reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, it gets charge. So, again, the Joust mechanic, and it might have charge. If it has charge, great, but you're gambling. Orgrimmar Aspirant. 3 costs, you get a 3/3 for the warrior. If you inspire, your weapon has +1 attack. So you armor up as a warrior, and this gives your weapon a +1 attack if you have the weapon equipped. If you don't have a weapon equipped, nothing's going to happen, I bet. Gadgetzan Jouster, that's the second one of those. And a Tournament Attendee. I think this is the first one of these I have. It's a 2/1 for 1, and it taunts. So, at least it does something. Although, as a 2/1, it's a terrible stat line for a taunt. Because it is just a chump block. It is just literally going to get in the way of something, and that is it. But, you know, there are the taunt mechanic cards in here we just saw, where it gives like +1/+1 to your other taunts. Or it gets a benefit from having taunts.
Rare.
Fuck you, game! 3rd fucking ball of spiders? There are other rares I could be getting. Dalaran Aspirant. Clockwork Knight. Fearsome Doomguard. And another Clockwork Knight. Guaranteeing... I wasn't sure if this one was the 3rd one or the 2nd one, but this one's definitely dust. Fuck. That pack was a waste of my fucking time.
Golden common.
Right. Druid the Saber. Again, we talked about this before, but this one's a golden common version. So that's spiffier. You can see that is... Well, it's got a swirl. It's otherwise not animated. Flame Lance. 5 cost. Deal 8 damage to a minion. Well, that's a good way of dealing with that Ragnaros that suddenly showed up. Blam. But, only to a minion. But, you know, there's definitely occasions where you want to blow the fuck out of a minion, and this'll do the job. Right. Another Murloc Knight.
Rare.
Savage Combatant. 4 costs, you get a 5/4, and when you inspire, give your hero +2 attack this turn. So, as a druid, you're going to flip over to get your, 1 attack and 1 armor. You now have 3 attack and 1 armor, and whap. So that makes him worthwhile, I think. If you can keep him alive. He is a 5/4. Holy Champion. Whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. So for the priest, you might heal. A character is basically a minion or a hero on either side. Okay? So you're a priest, you have the ability to heal. You have a 3/5 for 4. It's the stat line of the shield bearer without the taunt. But it'll get +2 attack every time you're using that healing power. So that could be good. You'd have a 5/5 for 4. Suddenly it's a good value. Or even a 7/5 if it's still going.
Golden epic.
Golden Epic Confuse. Swap the attack and health of all minions for 2 cost. You can see their eyes lighting up there. Well, that's a nice pretty card, and I could see maybe using it. I mean, admittedly, I'm swapping the health and attack of all my minions as well as all their minions. It's definitely situational, but could be a useful tool. And it may be that I'm planning around, like, I have all these, like, front-loaded attack kind of creatures, and then I can swap them, or suddenly I can go on the offensive and move all these big health creatures into attack modes. Yeah, that could be useful. Second Ice Rager. Third Spellslinger.
Rare.
Right, Fencing Coach. 3 costs, you get a 2/2. It's for all classes. Look, it's a rare that's not something I haven't had before. Battle Cry. Next time you use your hero power, it costs 2 less. So you can use your hero power for free, basically. It won't go less than 0. You don't get mana for using your hero power if it already costs 1. I'm pretty sure of that. And another bear trap. So at least I have both my bear traps. Last pack, kids. Will it be full of squires, fucking lances, and balls of spiders? Let's find out. Another Muckless Champion. That one's extra. Dreadsteed. 4 cost, you get a 1/1 demon. But its death rattle is summon a Dreadsteed. So you keep summoning Dreadsteeds, I believe. That's why it costs 4 cost. You essentially have an unlimited number of Dreadsteeds unless it gets silenced. However, you do have that new minion that can silence a demon. Murloc Knight, again, like third one. My second Living Roots, thank you. And Competitive Spirit, one of the new secret for the Paladin. When your turn starts, give your minions +1/+1. So again, this one's not dependent on your opponent's actions, per se. It won't fire if you don't have any minions on the table. But if you have even 1 minion, it will then, when the turn starts, so the thing has to already been played, it will then grant +1/+1 at the beginning of your turn to all your minions, be that 1 minion or 7 minions. So, could be very useful. and at least it won't fire if there's nothing on the table. Well, that's that. Let's recap. So, let's go to the crafting page here. We have 3 rare cards and 21 commons that are essentially completely useless. As you can see, 21 common cards gets me all of 105 dust. That is 24 cards, essentially 1 card out of every pack that was completely worthless to me. Right, so here we have our living roots. Both of those, that's nice. Oh, there's a wrath I got recently. Sorry, kids. I got that for my play in the previous month. The Darkness Spirit, Drew of the Saber. I only got one of these and one of these, but I did get a golden one, so I do have technically 2 of these. Savage Combatant. Only got one of those. Got 2 Windwalkers here, and we have 2 Knights of the Wild. So that's nice. Moving on to the Hunter, we have our Brave Archer. I don't think I'll ever craft the second one. My Bear Traps. My King's Elk. I might feel motivated to make a second one of those someday. And that's it for the Hunter. Oh, our many, many balls of spiders it wasn't going to show me. Yes, here they are, the 2 remaining. Balls of fucking spiders. Right, here's my effigy. I could see myself making an our effigy. Here's our flame lance. There's our competitive spirit. I could see again. I might want another one of these, and I might want. I mean, if I'm going to go into the whole secrets kind of paladin thing, I could totally see making some more paladin secrets. Because honestly, you might as well go whole hog, because it's fun. There's our Warhorse Trainer. We have both of those. Enter the Coliseum. Only got one of those. I don't know if I need to, really, but yeah, maybe. Our Mysterious Challenger. I probably want 2 of those for the idea that's coming into mind of using lots of spells, lots of secrets. I think that's going to be in the meta, to be honest. I think that's going to be a meta deck. Adric the Pure. I could see him using that. I could see using that. All my enemy minions attack is reduced to 1. Not unuseful. Right. That's that Confuse. I mean, it's nice to have a golden epic. You can see some finer points in the animation, like the twiddling of the mustache here, and like the hair's blowing back here, and there's more to see. Definitely. Here's our Holy Champion. And here's the Spawn of Shadows. Did we not get anything? Yeah, we got the Shadowpan Riders, that's what I thought. But nothing else? Wow. Okay. Moving on to the Shaman. Here's our Ancestral Knowledge. This is Mommy! Totem Golem. Could be very useful. It's a 3/4 for 2. It does have an overload of 1. I mean, for a totem, you know, pretty useful, I think, actually. Overload is something you just kind of have to deal with sometimes. Charged Hammer's a funny one. I can't see putting 2 of these in my deck. I mean, what happens after I've used the... There's the Totem Carvers. And here's the Totemics. So, back to Warlock, of course. The Demon Fuse, I'll probably never use. Tiny Knight of Evil. Fist of Jaraxxus. Demon Steed. Interesting card. Also interesting how I basically got one of these things for the Warlock, except for like the Fearsome Doomguard. So if I want to make any proper use out of that stuff, I'm going to have to craft cards. Warrior. Well, here's bolsters. We got 2 of those now. Alex Strauss's champion in gold. Let's have a look at that artwork. Let's see, we got some flapping hair, shining sparks there. We got a bit of shiny here. Anything else to see, really? Just kind of blowing around? I guess so. Okay. Sparring partner. Bash. Got 2 of those. Orgrimmar Aspirant. And the neutrals. Okay, so here's our Gadgeting Gout Jousters, our Inspired Cavaliers, Injured Cavaliers, our 1 tournament attendee. I doubt I'll end up crafting the other one, unless I'm building some kind of weird taunt-themed deck. Bone Guard Lieutenant. And here's another Bone Guard Lieutenant, but this time with the animation. As you can see, he's got the rotating shields, the steed is breathing, you got little bits of flappiness. That is an interestingly animated card. We do like to see some motion. Garrison Commander. Oh, here's my Lance Carriers that I got such a fan of. Argent Horse Rider. Only got 1. I don't know. Maybe if I have a theme, might make up the other one. Coliseum Manager. The Fencing Coach. The Ice Ragers that we got a few of. Lights Champion. The Silence the Demon specific card. Armored Warhorse Gambler. The Evil Heckler. I could see myself crafting the second Evil Heckler, to be honest. Although I might wait until after I've see if I can earn some more gold to basically buy a few more packs. Because crafting commons, while they're inexpensive, still cost 100 dust, and I'd rather save my dust for something more expensive. Nothing there. Refreshment Vendors, got 2 of those. The Twilight Guardian, only got 1 of those. And nothing there. Nothing there. Here's our Cavalier Raiders. There's this. Well, that's a Spiteful Smith. Nothing there. There we go. Master Jouster. Again, will not make any jokes about that. He looks vaguely dejected. There's our Jomungars. You can keep him, but you have to promise to feed him and clean out his tank every day. Fair enough. North Sea Kraken. You have no idea how tired this guy is of being released. Oh well. So not exactly. I don't know what I would have expected. I probably didn't expect to get fucking so many duplicate extras, freaking rares. But that'll be it for this. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it at least vaguely entertaining. Join me in the future for potentially some deck ideas, considering we have new cards. Maybe I'll play with my cousin again. Who knows? Have a nice day, folks. Goodbye.